Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6 o'clock. It's May 2nd, and welcome to the first commission meeting of May. Just a little side note to start off with. Interesting factoid. In May 3rd of 1955 at 2:32 p.m., that'll be tomorrow at 2:32 p.m., the city of Treasure Island will be 62 years old. Yay, congrats to the city.
Should we take our Social Security early?
We made, yeah, we got only have 3 years to go.
We're growing older, but not up.
It's each to their own. Second thing I'd like to do before we get started is to welcome our new interim city manager, Amy Davis. Amy, welcome. And third thing is, if you would join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks for everybody for coming. We have some fun things on the agenda this evening, so we'll have a roll call.
Mayor Minning?
Here.
Commissioner Toth did notify of her absence ahead of time. Commissioner Lunn?
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Keys?
Here.
Okay, we do have some proclamations and recognition certificates of appreciation this evening. We're going to start off with the first one, and that's the Florida Police Chiefs Association presentation of the 2016 Life Saving Award. Chief, welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I would like to introduce Chief Rob Vinson, who is the police chief for the city of Gulfport. He is our District 12, thank you, representative, and he represents Pasco and Pinellas County Police Chiefs on the Board of Directors for the Florida Police Chiefs Association. And tonight he has this honor of presenting this award.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, Chief.
Well, indeed, it is my honor to be here. As Chief Boudreaux said, I represent Pinellas and Pasco counties. The Florida Police Chiefs Association takes great honor in recognizing the efforts of the law enforcement officers throughout the state of Florida. And they've asked that the district directors, whenever available and whenever possible, make presentations of awards and recognitions at the local council meetings. So I appreciate your allowing me to do that tonight. This award that we are bestowing tonight is in honor of Sergeant Aaron Deshay. Come up to the podium with me if you would, sir. This award is designed to recognize police officers for an exceptional life-saving act. As you know, police officers put their lives on the line each and every day to serve and to protect their communities. Police officers also save lives, and we are here today to honor an officer who did just that. On August 27th, 2016, Treasure Island police officers responded to the Johns Pass Bridge in Treasure Island after a 911 caller reported seeing a man standing on the ledge of the bridge. The caller stated the man was not responding to him and seemed out of it. Sergeant Aaron Deshay arrived and located the man on the north side of the center span. He was standing on the ledge of the bridge, holding the railing with both arms from behind his body. The man appeared as though he was ready to jump from the bridge. After assessing the situation, Sergeant Deshay notified the communications center and requested backup, as well as a Marine patrol unit. He then approached the man from an angle out of his peripheral view and grabbed him from behind, preventing him from jumping and saving his life. The man, who was a St. Petersburg resident, had been released from a mental health facility on the previous day. Without Sergeant Deshay's quick reaction and instinct to help, this situation could have potentially ended in tragedy. On behalf of the Florida Police Chiefs Association, we present the Life-Saving Award to Sergeant Aaron Deshay for this life-saving incident and for putting his own life at risk in order to save another's. Thank you very much. And we have a very nice plaque for you. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you. Well deserved. Next on our recognitions this evening is our City Beachside Art Contest winners and acknowledgements. So Amy, I'll be happy to join you and
Yes,
hand them out.
I'll just say a few words. We had a city beach art contest. It was promoted in February of this year with a due date of March 31st for the art to be submitted. We were seeking to have unique non-government signs at our beach access points to promote keeping our beautiful beach here in Treasure Island clean. And we felt that having these types of signs would be more effective because it would grab people's attention and be a public art as well as involve our community. And so tonight we'd like to recognize the winners. We had 5 categories. Let me just, so the first is the best overall, and that goes to Dee Messinek. Dee? Thank you. Here you go. Thank you. Here. How about this? Oh.
I would hope so.
Oh, yeah.
Justin,
don't
do
have it
you
up
think
here?
you could get,
You
I
don't
know,
have it up
I
here?
forgot it. Do you mind getting that in my office? It's on the,
Okay,
Um,
we'll get them.
yes, The second one is for the best anti-litter message, going to Barbara Grilly. The third category is the best original, going to Mary Kittle. Yes, thank you for.
Thanks, Justin.
So this is the best overall picture. If you can see that. We'll also be posting these on the city's website. So you can see that starting tomorrow. And then here's the best anti-litter message going to Barbara Grilly. I feel like I'm going too fast. And then the best original, Mary Kittle. So we have best in age group, age 10 to 14, going to Sarah Widener. Yeah, sorry. And here's her artwork. It says, if trash comes out to play, we will have to leave that day. And then the last winner of our categories is for ages 15 through 17, and it's Ross Lenahan. And here's his artwork. Yep, congratulations. And his message is the Sandcastle Man wants trash in the can. Yeah, so we have two honorable mentions that I just wanted to mention. I don't know if, Lalisha, is she here? I didn't see if she came in the door. I don't think so. Well, Lalisha Diggs is honorable mention, in a piece of adult artwork. And the message is, keep Treasure Island litter-free for you and me. That's the honorable mention. And then we also have an honorable mention in the children's group for child, Sydney Jenkins. She's from Colorado, so I know she couldn't make it here tonight, so she visits her grandfather here. So this is good memories stay, but trash must go away. Put it in the can, please. And that's on Sydney. And then I also wanted to thank the judges. We had 5 volunteers from 5 of our civic organizations. The first being Jim Gagurtis from the Art Guild. Here's a certificate of thank you. And then I know that Greg is here. Greg Tong, representing the Chamber of Commerce. And then Ginger Gaper. Did I pronounce that right? Gepper. So Ginger coming up here, and she represented the Treasure Island Islet. Thank you. And we also had Deb Boyer with the Beach Stewardship Committee, as well as Christy Herrick with the Gulf Beaches Rotary, and those were our 5 judges that donated their time to this, so I wanted to thank them. So, congratulations, all the winners. So, the next step is fundraising for the signs, and we will be, we're getting specific quotes by each art piece, and we'll have a donation form ready, so if you have any interest in donating and contributing to a sign, please come see us. And thank you.
Thanks, Amy, and to all those who participate on the city side. I think that was a fun event. So thanks, everybody, for doing it. Okay, final tonight under proclamations, the 8th Annual Fire Operations 101. Chief?
Just wanted to make sure that, that all of you were aware of the 8th Annual Fire Operations 101. It's a one-day firegrounds operations and of orientation regarding fire operations. And just like to make sure that if you guys can make it, it would be great to have you out there representing the city. I'll definitely be out there to hold your hand in case you get scared doing any of those things. I know you would never be scared. But it would be nice to see you guys out there. Like I said, we'll be out there representing the city, and we'd love to have you guys as well.
Thank you. I'm not going to ask for commitments right now, but I'll be there.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Chief. Okay, let's move into public comments. Public comments this evening, please. Yeah, please, the podium.
Okay, I don't think I've done this before, maybe I have once before. My name is Shari Cohen, and I live in Commissioner Ken Keyes' district. And first of all, I want to apologize for not being here before, but I wasn't notified by mail, and I believe that I was supposed to be notified that there's a parking lot being built across from my property. I live by the 7-Eleven on Gulf Boulevard, and I think I'm supposed to be notified by mail, and I wasn't. So for the record, I think that that's an issue to start with. So does anyone know why I wasn't notified?
I don't know, but we can have somebody address that and find out.
Okay,
that's
so
city
I missed
property.
the prior meetings.
If it's a private,
Yeah, it's a private venture. We'll look into that.
Well, I think I'm supposed to be notified, like it's 200 feet, I'm supposed to be notified.
Okay.
Okay, so being that I wasn't notified and I wasn't there before, I'm gonna address these issues that should have been addressed, okay?
Okay, just to let you, public comment is public comment. You're free to speak however you wish. This has not been an issue that's come before City Council, Commission.
Okay,
It was before the Planning and Zoning Board.
Okay.
okay. Okay, like I said, we live in that area, and our question is, we know that the city, because the ground's broken, and we know that someone has bought that lot, and there's going to be a parking lot there. We wondered if there's been any analysis on what the extra costs are going to be as far as the infrastructure for the city, as far as projected increase for traffic and safety. Has anyone done any analysis on that?
This is not a question and answer. It's a public comment, so I don't mean to cut you off on this. And I encourage you to get with
Okay.
P&Z,
Okay, so
Planning and
if it
Zoning.
isn't a question and answer, I'd like to ask if we can, if I can ask for a workshop, if I can ask my commissioner to set up a workshop so that we can do that? Because this is really an issue that I don't think that we've had time to really digest. And I really feel that there's going to be increased costs of more beach maintenance, more garbage pickup to the beach, to the street, to the sidewalks, more police security for weekends, spring break traffic controls. There's going to be safety issues. There's going to be a lot, our property values are going to go down. There's going to be a lot of grooming issues. And I'm really, the neighbors who couldn't be here tonight have asked me to speak on their behalf. We're pretty upset about it because we haven't been notified. So can we have some kind of a workshop to talk about this?
This is not an item that typically comes before the commission. It goes before Planning and Zoning.
Well, I'm asking.
And the Planning and Zoning Commission would be the proper agency to have your public comments and ask the questions and get the answers.
Well, how do I go about that?
Get with the Community Improvement Director, Ms. Cohen, Paula Cohen, and I'm sure she'd be happy to accommodate your questions.
Okay. Well, that's pretty frustrating. Thank you.
Well, we don't intend it to be frustrating. It's just the way that the city goes about its business, so. Okay, any other public comment? Mel?
Mel Lenahan, District 4. Just to add on to that, I have mentioned in the past that we need to do some taxing on meters. And that, what she just brought up, the taxing on meters will compensate for additional police activity that would be going on, for additional trash pickup, the safety issues, the parking issues on the side of the parking lot over there. The, you know, all of the people that'll be walking from the beer brewery over across the street, there's no walkover down there by that bridge. There's going to be a lot of on-the-job training, and that's what she's trying to get to the workshop, to see if we can't do some sort of either taxing on the meters to bring more money in to pay for the additional cost, and also do some traffic, I don't know, brainstorming about how we can make it a one-way in by Harold Avenue, do the alley, and one way out. Because if you got double traffic going in these little areas in the alley and all that, it's going to be very bad. And so that's why she was requesting a workshop agenda to discuss taxation on the meters and for additional parking restrictions for that area. But on another side here, I wanted to talk to you about the charter. In our charter, it states that the community cannot interfere with the city business. And that bothers me because if we have a city manager that puts us in a financial problem, in a financial position, or even something that we see a red flag on, we should be able to come in and check it out anytime. I don't think that it's necessary that we do go through the city manager, just in case there is a situation that involves the city manager included in it. I think that the charter needs to change about that. If the commissioners need to do an audit at any time, I think that they can. This needs to be changed. I've seen a lot of things that can't be brought up because it goes through the city manager, and the city manager was the big issue about it. So if a commissioner wants to know of some paperwork, I don't think it's necessary to go through the city manager. I think that you can audit them at any time to double check to see what's going on. Because if we allow the employees to do whatever they want to and there's no one policing them, then there can be problems. You know, we've had wedding fees have been too low for too long. The parking fees have been too low for too long. That should have been the city manager ripping out the old and bringing in the new. Who knows what else is out there? I mean, if the commission wants to audit the Parks and Rec department to see what their books look like, they should be able to go in and do it on their own anytime. And the same about grants. There was grants available that we didn't have to match, $50,000 a year that could have gone towards the golf course or several different other parks, and we haven't applied for them. There are a huge amount of different grants that has not been processed. The city manager should have been on that, but he was not. So that's why I feel like the charter needs to change so that we can have additional policing and not just one person under one thumb. We need to have additional meters, we need to have additional incomes, and I'm still looking for the signs at the gateways down by Gators, a sign that says welcome to Treasure Island, and a sign over at, as soon as you cross over the bridge on the south end by 7-Eleven, a sign down there saying you've just entered Treasure Island. There's so many things that have been brought forth and it just hasn't bloomed. So I'd like to see that the charter gets changed to where y'all can do what you need to do, and that's take care of the citizens. It's not run by city employees alone. It's ran by the citizens also, because the bottom line, it ends up with us. And also, if we can add to the charter that the city manager cannot be rude. Thank you.
Missy?
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, staff, and our Treasure Island home audience. Just wanted to invite everyone to the Chamber's first health fair, or health expo as we're calling it. It's going to be at the Community Center on May 18th from 1 to 4 p.m. And we will have free health screening for any of our residents here on Treasure Island. And I just want you all to put it on your notebooks or in your calendars. We are letting our members know through our communication. We're also putting it on Facebook, and we're working with the city to have it posted on your page as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Missy. Greg, did you have a comment?
First that will be Gregory Tong, Chairman of the Board for the Treasure Island Madeira Beach Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to applaud Amy over there and the judges, and thank you for having me as one of the judges, to have these great art signs ready to go to help preserve our beaches, and that rolls right along with EPIC. And we really do appreciate that. And anybody that doesn't know what EPIC is, like I said, I'm going to come up here as often as I can and push that. It's the Environmental Preservation Initiative for our communities, which is the reduction of plastic and styrofoam and whatnot. So, but I wanted to thank Amy. I know, Amy, you took a lot of time on that, and I thank you very much. Second one is Hands Across the Sand. I don't know if y'all are advertising that, Mayor Manning. Do you happen to know what date that was? Is that May 20th or something like that?
I don't know.
That's a great event. Hands Across the Sand. You're there every year for that. So if anybody can look that up, please come out there. It does save our beaches. It's a great, great community event. And then thirdly, I'll go ahead and put on the other hat, Gregory Tong, SAL Commander for the American Legion, right across the street here. We do have a Memorial Day parade on the 29th, and that is on a Monday, and everybody should be off work, the banks are closed and all that. Everybody is invited to come into the parade and partake. And it starts at 9 o'clock, leaves Treasure Bay, and we end up at the community center. From there, we are actually an open house that weekend, so the services for that will be open to the public, and I do want to make sure that I invite each of the commissioners and city staff. Please join us for that. It's a very important thing. I know, Bob, you've been there, Mayor Minning, you've been there for the last few years, and it is a great event. And it's a great time to actually pay tribute to our veterans that have lost their lives, or sometimes they still come back and their lives are still lost. So, and then lastly, I noticed Dominique's not here. There is the Roselli Park thing on May 21st, 2 to 4 p.m., where they're going to have hot dogs and watermelon and whatnot, some baseball stuff. That is a great event. I really like doing that. That's one of my favorite ones, to be honest with you. She puts a lot of time in that. So I want to encourage people to come out to these events to help our veterans and to help our community and save our environment. So I just want to keep it positive, and I wish I would come to all these things. So, and I look forward to it.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Any other public comments this evening? We will move on to approval of minutes. We have the minutes from the regular commission meeting and the workshop for April 18th available.
I'd like to make a motion that the minutes of the regular meeting of the commission on April 18th, 2017, and the regular workshop of April 18th, 2017 be approved as recorded.
Second?
Second.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No problem. Any further discussion, any corrections?
No.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lunn,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Keys,
Aye.
Mayor Minning.
Aye. Everybody, look over the agenda, workshop and commission, okay?
Looks fine.
That's fine, okay. We have no consent agenda, so first item under business this evening is consideration of ordinance 1702. Jennifer?
Ordinance 1702, an ordinance of the City of Treasure Island, Florida, amending land development regulations, Chapter 68, zoning regulations, Section 68-495, minimum property standards, to repeal Section 68-495, sub 4, to provide for amendments necessary to maintain internal consistency, providing for severability, conflict, codification, and an effective date.
I'd like to make a motion that ordinance 17-02 be approved.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, and open for commission discussion? Oh, excuse me, this is
This has to do with the drainage.
Yeah.
Which creates hardship if you remodel your house, that you have to basically
Right.
dig up a bunch of bricks and things in order to put.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
let me do this first, if I may. We need a public hearing on this, so I'll open the public hearing now. Any public comment on this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, and now, please.
I think we should pass it. I think it's punitive to people. We're trying to get some of our properties to redevelop, and if people find out they have to put in a $25,000 driveway made of pervious pavers, they're not going to be able to do what they would like to do in their own domain. I don't think it's just my opinion.
I agree with you, and people who have unfortunately come across this as as an afterthought, so to speak, have paid the price. And I agree with it, it's just not fair. It's not
How does this relate to the ordinance that we reviewed on, that was brought up earlier on the pervious section down towards the street. How does that relate?
Paul, you want to?
Paula, can you,
Yeah.
can you,
Yes, this is the same ordinance we reviewed at workshop, and we discussed that, as Commissioner Keys just mentioned, that people that are trying to improve their homes face the expense of having to make changes to their driveway. And in this case, because it has to be permeable, it often doesn't match the rest of their driveway because the apron has to be, sometimes it's like a loose pebbles or rocks, a pervious paver, which are more expensive than normal pavers. There's also a time delay in getting them in.
thank you.
You good? Any other discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Lunn,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Keys,
Aye.
Mayor Minning.
Aye. Item 2 this evening is consideration of Resolution 1749. Jennifer?
Resolution number 1749, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Treasure Island authorizing the city manager to amend the parking space license agreement with the Bilmar Beach Resort for the utilization of city property for parking by resort employees and guests and providing an effective date.
And we care to make a motion on this one?
So we had talked about this. I'll make the motion. It was a soft landing for the agreement. that- Yeah, a one-year agreement that we had made, and I think it's reasonable.
What do you think, Larry?
I'll second the motion for the purposes of voting.
Okay, well, is there any discussion on this? I agree with Commissioner Kennedy. The idea on this was not to jerk the rug out from underneath them, but to give them an idea, 1 year to come up with their own plan for handling their own parking. I don't think the 1 year is too much to ask, personally.
I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think 1 year, I don't think 1 year's an issue when it comes to this. I think we're gonna make it up. We've got an awful lot of new spaces that we've put in, and I think it's probably the right thing to do. Because just to cut it off flat, think of the parking issues they'll have, and think of, we have to be at least sort of business friendly in this city in order to have our people be happy with us as well. So everybody is a stakeholder. The people who live here, the people that work here, the people that own businesses here, whether they live in our city or not. So this is a stakeholder issue for me.
Okay, any other comment? Roll call?
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Keys,
Yes.
Commissioner Lunn,
Yes.
Mayor Minning.
Aye. Okay, moving on to item 3, that's consideration of Resolution 1750. Jennifer?
Resolution 1750, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Treasure Island authorizing the city manager to amend the parking space license agreement with Sunset Vistas Beachfront Suites for the utilization of city property for parking by resort employees and guests and providing an effective date.
I'd like to make a motion that Resolution 17-50 be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. This is a similar to what we did on the Bilmar?
On a much smaller scale.
Yeah, much smaller. Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Lunn,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Keys,
Aye.
Mayor Minning.
Aye. Next item tonight is consideration of Resolution 1761. Jennifer?
Resolution number 1761, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Treasure Island, Florida, granting a 10-foot wide utility easement to Duke Energy on the 60-foot wide by 75-foot long parcel of city-owned property generally located between 107th Avenue and 108th Avenue and between 10771 Gulf Boulevard and 1117 108th Avenue, and providing an effective date.
I'd like to make a motion that Resolution 17-61 be approved.
Mayor, I'd like to add a few words, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, let me get a second. I'll second that so we can continue on.
Thank you. The American Legion wants to replace their existing 20-foot flagpole to have a 30-foot flagpole to more prominently display the American flag. The problem that they faced was that there were overhead lines from Duke Energy, and they did not meet the proper clearance requirements. I really have to thank City Attorney Jennifer Cowan as we pursued this, and Bruce Cooper from the American Legion is with us. He's absolutely helped us in every way. What we have before us this evening is a 10-foot Duke Energy easement that we're indicating that will be on our property. The American Legion will be paying to reroute the existing service and install the underground service so that there won't be any disturbance to our roadway. Obviously, we can't build on it. Obviously, we can't excavate over the 10-foot, but we can still utilize it to drive over, which is very important for our whole downtown plan for the ingress and egress to the rear of the businesses. And at this point in time, we do have a resolution, a dedication of a 10-foot easement to accomplish all of that, and I really think it's a win-win. And Bruce is here, he just jumped in just a moment ago, if you have any questions.
Thanks, Paula. Any questions, discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to ask City Attorney. I'm a member of the Sons of the American Legion. Is it ethical for me to vote either way? Should I recuse myself? What should I do?
No, you're fine to vote.
I'm
You
okay?
have to vote.
Well, not unless.
Because I like the flag.
Well, I like the flag too, but I want to make sure I don't get you-know-what in a crack. So, okay, good. Let's go.
I'd like to make a declaration that I'm also a member of the Sons of American Legion, for the record.
Me too.
And
It's
as,
fixed,
and
it's
as
fixed.
usual, I'm the odd man out.
Welcome, Coop.
Thank you all, I appreciate that. All I can do is appreciate staff has worked diligent to work this out. It's been a long time. We are going to get this in before Memorial Day. Duke has promised, since they're the one that sort of dropped the ball on us. So we're gonna have a dedication Memorial Day for that flagpole. It will be beautiful, and all I can say, I do appreciate staff and your commission as far as helping us get through this matter. And again, thank you very much.
Yep, you're most welcome. Thanks for the perseverance.
All right.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lunn,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Keys,
Aye.
Mayor Minning.
Aye. Item 5 tonight's consideration of Resolution 1751. Jennifer?
Resolution number 1751, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Treasure Island awarding a contract to Clark Sales Displays, Inc. for the lease of holiday decorations and providing an effective date.
I'd like to make a motion that Resolution 17-51 be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Lunn,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Keys,
Aye.
Mayor Minning.
Aye. Excuse me. Next item is consideration of Resolution 1754. Jennifer?
Resolution 1754, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Treasure Island, Florida, approving the continuation of health care benefits and plan with PRM.
I'd like to make a motion that Resolution 1754 be passed.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Any
finally got one
discussion?
in Edgeworth.
And, and again, Jennifer, really, the whole piggyback relationship doesn't hurt or help us in any specific direction, and you can just nod your head yes, and
It can help us or it could hurt us. It just depends on what their experience is. So if they don't have any large claims, then it's additional belly buttons. That's the official technical term in the health insurance world. So it adds belly buttons to us. However, if they have a catastrophic claim or just are high users of the plan, then it can hurt us. So it kind of depends. I will tell you that since they've been on our plan, we do monitor, as in PRM monitors the high claims, and they have never shown up. So thus far, they haven't shown up. They had one spike in a high user, but it was not a continuation of a medical incident. It was handled, so it was a high cost claim, but it was resolved. So there's no indication that it's going to be. PRM has to wait for us to have the signed approval that we are staying with them, and then they will respond on if there's going to be a rate change to carry them. So if they're evaluated separately and there's an indication that there's going to be a rate change, then that would be kind of an indicator to us that maybe we need to reevaluate that relationship. But if they're not going to give us a rate change, then it would be my opinion that they're saying that it's not a high risk.
Right.
But they can't do that because of the RFP process, so we have to wait until it's either approved or not, and then they'll let us know what those rates will be.
so the history on the risk exposure hasn't impacted our premiums in the pool.
Correct.
Okay.
In so much, the only ones that they report are your high costs. So once you hit a $50,000 claim, and they've had one of those, but it was a one isolated incident. So over the past 6 years that they've been on our plan. That doesn't mean that they haven't been high users, but they haven't had any large claims.
Thank you.
No problem.
Last year, I think at budget time, you had been able to offload a couple of larger cases.
Yes.
Have those come back to roost?
They have not. They've stayed off, and it was one, and the claim is still ongoing, but it's on its own. It's not on our health insurance, and I have no indication that they're coming back.
Excellent, thank you.
No problem.
Nice job on that.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Thanks, Jennifer.
No problem. Thank you.
Roll call.
Commissioner Keys?
Aye.
Commissioner Lunn?
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Mayor Minning?
Aye. Item 7 tonight, consideration of Resolution 1757. Jennifer?
Resolution number 1757, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Treasure Island authorizing the purchase of a new 2017 Ford Escape SUV from Hub City Ford through the Florida Sheriff's Association Cooperative Purchasing Program, including ancillary equipment, in the total amount of $19,460, and authorizing an appropriation from the loss fund unassigned fund balance to account 123-5300-64920 in the amount of $19,460 for the purchase of this vehicle and equipment.
I'd like to make a motion that Resolution 17-57 be approved.
Second it.
Thank you. Chief's here if there are any questions.
Chief's got a new boat, a new car. What's next?
New building.
It's the
all good.
city that has the boat and the car.
But
Not
the
the
chief's in
chief.
charge of it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Lunn?
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Keys?
Aye.
Mayor Minning?
Aye. And our next item is consideration of Resolution 1760. Jennifer?
Resolution number 1760, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Treasure Island authorizing the rental of an automated side loader and providing an effective date.
I'd like to make a motion that Resolution 17-60 be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion? Mike's here if anybody has any
Yeah, Mike, I just had a question. Background says in November of 2017, the commission authorized the purchase of two, I think we got a little ahead of ourselves with November
Yeah, that would be-
2017.
Yeah, that would be November 16.
Okay.
Yep.
What is the status of the vehicles that were?
The two vehicles that we approved, they're both on order. They're being built. We expect one to be here at the beginning of July and one to be here at the end of July.
This is a small side loader, right? For the narrow streets, or this is a big one?
No.
These are the large,
Big one.
this is a large one for the residential area. The small one is the one that we're gonna be talking about on workshop.
Is that pretty standard, 23,000 for 3 months?
It's,
I mean,
It's
we even know.
like $9,800 per month, but it's actually broken down into 4 weeks. And yes, it's a common number. This vehicle right here is, if we bought it brand new, would be about $250,000.
So is it better to lease or to own?
It's better to own. For us. Now, for the truck company, they'd rather lease it to us.
Well, but what goes into that? I mean, what are our operating costs and how do you come up with that? How long do we keep them?
Well, we've been trying
Cost
to.
of ownership, I guess
Okay,
is what I'm.
what we've been trying to do is keep them between 7 and 10 years, is what we normally try to do. These automated arms are around 6 years. We probably should start looking very closely because they, at the last 3 to 4 years, the maintenance costs skyrocket because all the cylinders, the arms, the extensions, all those are now in bad shape.
So I look back at the vehicle that Chief Armand wants, and he's got a pretty detailed list of maintenance. And I'm not really sure that I feel comfortable anyway that we understand what the maintenance is on these trucks. And they go up and down the street, they leak hydraulic fluid all over the place. And Mike, I know you're probably trying to keep everything pieced together because these guys drive them very hard, right?
Correct.
Every day. You know, I just like for us to look outside of the box and say, what is the best operation for us? What's the best arrangement lease-wise versus buying them outright? And again, I'm not trying to put you on the spot right now, but I'd like for us to start to think about that. Because I'm starting to notice that pickup is later and later and later, and I believe it's because of equipment failure or something around that, right?
With the one-arm bandits, which are the automated, those are notoriously breaking down at this point. We have one that is 10 years old and one that is 12 years old.
And you mentioned that you think the cycle for that should be around 6 to 7 years?
6 to 7 years. Because the last 3 to 4 years, the maintenance costs are shooting up.
What do you think the two that we have are worth when you put them through the auction?
One of them, the oldest one we're keeping as a spare. The other one, I'm not putting it out on the street anymore. We got it so that it'll drive. And if we get $20,000, I'd be extremely surprised.
Amy, we make money on trash pickup, don't we?
Well, our rates are set to break even with the appropriate fund balance to pay for all the capital and to refund the general fund for the services that they provide. So there's an administrative transfer, it's roughly around 200,000.
So it turns into a wash then, correct?
It does, yes. One of the things I did want to mention is we do feel as staff that we've been keeping our garbage trucks too long. And we felt that way reviewing all of the numbers last year. So in this adopted budget, we put in all the garbage trucks to be replaced over the next 3 years. So this is year one of that 3-year cycle. So we'll be turning them all over. And that's in the 5-year plan.
So knowing that we need to do it, my dad was a car dealer and we leased a lot of cars. So do you think, have you ever run the numbers on leasing those for 4 or 5 years versus purchasing them?
We haven't, but we can.
We
Does
have
it
not.
does it make sense to do it to you?
We can look into that.
I'm just thought we could ask. It's probably a little too late. It's a little too late maybe for this round possibly because we really do probably have to have those trucks. But we should take a look at it. If we're only going to keep them 6, you might be able to unload them at 6 and pick up another one. I don't know if that's what you have to buy. I mean, if we put all the capital out every 6 years for a $200,000 or $300,000 truck, right? We run them through the auction. We don't really have any backup. It's not like we can go through and we could figure. There's tables that'll figure out the residual value of one of those things, and if they don't tend to break down as badly until they get to about 6 years, then at least we do have some, empirical data to maybe take a good look at leasing it.
Yeah, I think we need to target our life cycle that we would recommend. We could do a lease for the same terms if the life cycle shows 6 years, and then leasing's really just a financing mechanism from that point. But if we can come up with a appropriate life cycle that we feel is reasonable and good to keep all of our trucks in working order, we can do that by the proposed budget and present that with the Solid Waste Fund.
Maybe coming up during budgeting, we could.
Yeah.
There's a vehicle for us to suggest that during budgeting cycle coming up here.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's take a look. I don't want to waste a bunch of time, but maybe we could take a look. I don't know if anybody agrees. But for the time being, we got to have trucks, right? So.
Thanks, Mike.
What do we do?
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Lunn,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Keys,
Yes.
Mayor Minning.
Aye. Item 9 this evening, consideration of Resolution 1762. Jennifer?
Resolution number 1762, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Treasure Island, Florida, adopting the fiscal sustainability plan for wastewater utility and setting an effective date.
I'd like to make a motion that resolution 1762 be approved.
I'll second that motion.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Keys,
Aye.
Commissioner Lunn,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Mayor Minning.
Aye. Excuse me, aye. Item 10 tonight, consideration of Resolution 1755. Jennifer?
Resolution number 1755, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Treasure Island appointing an alternative member of the Code Enforcement Board and providing an effective date.
I'd like to make a motion that Resolution 17-55 be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. This is just sort of the escalation of this lady.
Keeping the sorts.
Yeah. From alternate to full-time. Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Lunn,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Keys,
Aye.
Mayor Minning.
Aye. And item 11, our last item tonight, is consideration of Resolution 1764. Last time, Jennifer.
Resolution number 1764, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Treasure Island, Florida, relating to the signature authority to draw upon funds on deposit in the name of the City of Treasure Island, Florida, and the access to safety deposit box rented in the name of the City of Treasure Island, authorizing the use of signature facsimile and providing an effective date.
I'd like to make a motion that Resolution 17-64 be approved.
Second.
This is more or less housekeeping. Any discussion? You good? Roll call.
Do we trust her with all that money?
Yeah, well,
We
we'll
better.
find out.
We better, yep. Here we go.
Commissioner Lunn,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Keys,
Aye.
Mayor Minning.
Aye. That concludes our regular commission agenda meeting for this evening. We'll take 10 minutes and reconvene here in quarter up. Meeting adjourned.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.